And now, here's today's Taste Appeal.
To so many of you, the smell of a baking apple pie is one that brings back great memories. And today, we're going to make those memories come alive once again with Amanda Morin, a baker at the Williamsburg General Store. Amanda, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Nice to be here.
Already, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, all the stuff smells great. And we are making the pie from scratch.
Absolutely.
So it starts with the crust. Take us up to speed. What goes into your crust?
We use flour, salt, Crisco, and water.
And you mix it all together, and it comes something like this. And then the next step would be rolling it out and molding it.
Yep.
Shall we?
Absolutely.
All right. So how do we go about it?
Well, first you want to flour your counter space.
Okay. And you should make sure the counter's clean first, which we've
Absolutely.
done here. Excellent. And just plop it on down?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay, yeah. You were saying you aren't used to making just one pie, because you normally make, what, 30 or 30 or something at a time?
On holidays, we usually do at least 100 pies.
Wow.
For a weekend, maybe a dozen or so.
What's your secret to a great apple pie? If you could think of one. Is it in the crust? Is it in the apples?
I would probably have to go with crust.
Yeah? So, we're rolling it out, and you want to make sure that it stays with a lot of flour on it so it doesn't get sticky?
Yeah, well, actually, we're doing a two crust pie, so we're actually going to take little bits of this before we roll it out.
Oh, okay.
You want, for this size pie, you want maybe like a tennis ball size.
Okay. So here, we'll get this out of the way then.
Yeah.
Make a tennis ball size. I don't want to watch you do this because I know that I'm failing miserably. So I'm going to let you add it.
All right. Well, I usually start with something a little bit more round.
And do you need a rolling pin, or can you make it like a pie crust too using your hands?
It would take a lot longer. If you use just your hands, you probably could. I prefer the rolling pin myself.
Gotcha.
And to keep it from sticking, you really want to put a lot of flour on the rolling pin itself.
Well, that's a great tip. So we roll it out, and how thin, roughly, do you want it by the end?
It really all depends on what your preference is. If you want a thicker crust, I mean, you have to bake it a little longer, but...
So we roll it out, and you want to make it roughly a little bit larger than the size of that.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, this is...
And you really want to keep it kind of round. It makes it a little easier.
Now, when you have the oven, what do you preset the oven to?
400.
400 degrees. And how long, roughly, do you cook an apple pie for?
About 50 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
And then you just kind of lay it in the tin here. The bottom crust doesn't have to be as large because you're going to put the top crust over and kind of tuck it under.
So I'll make you another tennis ball-sized crust.
Sure.
Is there too much kneading with dough, or does it matter?
If you
how much
over
play
knead
with
it, it will get a little tougher. So you don't want to handle it as much.
How's that for a size? Is it good?
That's perfect.
All right.
You want to try?
I would love to. And here, in the meanwhile, do you want to start putting the apples on?
I can do that.
All right. We'll multitask here, which is the key to any successful kitchen, I think.
Oh, yeah. Definitely have to multitask.
So you've carved up a bunch of apples here, but what do you put to make it a great filling? It's because it's more than just apples.
Yep, we have sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, and a little bit of flour to keep it all together.
All right. So if you'd like to dump all of those in, I'm going to call Ashley in here because she is a big fan of the apple pie.
I'm a big fan of anything sweet. That's
Anything
what it is.
with a pie at the end of it, you love.
So we've only got about a minute. So what can I do to help?
Do you want to grab the finished apple pie out?
I would love, of course I do. Of course I want to get the finished one.
The oven's not too hot right now, so I think you can do it barehanded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Oh, yes, I can. All right. So, Amanda, you made this apple pie?
I did.
Homemade? Ooh.
I did.
Look
There's
at how
nothing
pretty
better
that
than
is.
homemade apple pie.
That's a beautiful pie.
Do you have apple pie memories in your life, Ash?
I do have apple pie memories. My mom makes a really good homemade apple pie.
See, my grandmother makes
say.
a great pie.
It smells good.
It's one of those smells. It smells like America. It smells like childhood.
It smells like America.
There are certain smells that are
the 4th of July.
Well, hey, do you mind sticking around and finishing this up?
I can do that.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on. That pie looks phenomenal. I'm sure these pies are going to look great too. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thanks.
And I've satisfied my sweet tooth. Well, I will in a few at least. And you can too. Make this recipe tonight or watch it again by clicking on Taste Appeal when you visit mymassappeal.com.